Berikutnya, coba kulihat. Power kamu 1 dan kamu akan respon di Mesir.
Tapi aku ingin pergi ke Roma. Tak seorang pun akan tahu aku diam-diam mengganti arah.
Kamu tadi curang, pergilah ke Mesir.
View Green bikin lo terus melaju. Tetap tekun.
Stop the drama. Rise up, Happy Nation. Widih, damage blacksmith macam apa ini? Gila banget. Bener kata Chef, kalau mau main seru paling pas pakai blacksmith aja. Pilih battlesmith, pakai shutdown, outputnya ampun. Tabrak pakai card, auto mode dapur. Carry, semua pasti rebutan mau ngajak join.
Bahkan nggak bisa memecahkan satu bata pun, teruslah berlatih. Kamu sudah belajar menyerang dengan energi spiritual. Nggak buruk. Tunggu, kamu menguasai energi spiritual tingkat lanjut dalam 2 hari dan berhasil melakukan terobosan. Gimana caranya?
Wonder what that is, though, because to me, the thing that worries me the most is how these heroes interact in the early game. SD is not a particularly strong rune fighter, and Pangolier is one of the best in the game, so you need some robustness around mid, right? You need your 5 to be strong, you need your mid to be strong, you need to be able to hold that area and actually maintain, because if you end up in a situation like Game 1 where Paravision is running you over in the rune fights, and they start to bleed into the side lanes, it starts to spill, then that's when you have a real problems. So I think this 5 here needs to be super strong in lane, and you need to solidify your things, hold your position.
Could you maybe default back to tough? Either play it on 5 or just have the SD go on that safe lane.
Yeah, it is possible. It's definitely possible. I mean, you'll get to see one more hero from Paravision. Maybe it's the 4, maybe it's the 5. So you get a little more info that can maybe give you a lane advantage there, some matchup you see. There's also the Sand King, which is just like sort of difficult to pressure generally, especially with Enchban. It's not that easy to just invade and take the camp. So I think that's a hero that's particularly good for XG, especially with SD. It's a combo we saw Falcons win TI with. So you just amp all the damage coming from the epicenter. So definitely could look at that because it sort of defends itself.
And if Slardar isn't banned out here by Paravision, then XG are just going to run it back most likely. They have an SD to set up for its stun on lane, and they just do Slardar plus ranged carry again versus the Pango.
No, it's a very kind of easy pick if they wanted to go for it for sure.
I do wonder if Paravision will do something like ban Slardar, pick Weaver. Like Weaver's definitely in these teams' minds, right? It was owning last game, and Paravision also likes the hero a lot. There's just heroes like this that pop up that become high priority, and you have to think about all the bans and the trades that bleed into it.
Yeah,
they do it for it. I mean, it's also like the fact that like Void and some of the other heroes that you might see against it, I think they're just too slow for how this series is getting played out. So you do need to kind of respect the fact that the pacing of this, best of 3 does not suit certain heroes.
Yeah, no, the Void comment is very true. Like that is a really big question mark, and Paravision sort of calling your bluff in some way, right? When you see these two heroes, immediately think of Void. It's insanely good against them, one of the best heroes against them. But SD's already slow, already bad at fighting these runes. You've got 2 great skirmishers of Paravision. You have to bolster this. You have to be good in these early games.
And now that the XXS Slardar has been banned out, are there any other options that you think can shore up the shortcomings, like the Brewmaster that's still in there?
Brew is so bad against Weaver is the problem. It's like the best carry counter to Brewmaster is the Weaver, because none of your spells do anything to him. Split all the crush, nothing. None of it does anything to Weaver. So it's worsened a lot. Like I think this is a very smart thing from Paravision, and Extreme is taking a lot of time here.
Okay, bring back the Exodus Mars, get in some hard lockdown. And I think Arme did a pretty good job, right? How many times we were seeing like time lapse and then just Scoochie back, kind of punishing the fact that the lockdown wasn't a good thing. Actually, they identified that already with the Mars. I'd like at least one more kind of cheap stun in play so that they can kind of threaten the Weaver. Even stopping the Pango pre-Rolling Thunder, it would help a lot.
I just really hope they don't pick Puck. Because the last time they played this Mars, they just picked Puck with it, and they were very dependent on cooldowns.
SD Mirana.
Take me back.
What a... Oh, God, Christ.
What a throwback.
That is, yeah. I mean, again, new patch, you can make some excuses, but if you aren't a old school player... To be fair, Slacks did ask the average age of the audience, and it was like 35, so everyone's going to know about SD Mirana. So yeah, you disrupt, you hit the arrow, you're perfectly going to get the kill. If you're against a Weaver, you put a sentry down, you're always going to get that stun on him in the early game. It is quite a fun combination to play on, but... Also, Mirana can leap away from the Pangolier roll. You have SD with Disruption. These are 2 supports that actually survive against the Pangolier.
And the Weaver jump as well. And Weaver often plays on these backline heroes, and they can protect themselves. But also, Mirana plus Mars is a very old school combo. This was like a thing Team Spirit did all the way back in TI.
No, I fully agree. I think Moonlight Shadow is also super cool against these heroes. They don't have that firm, solid lockdown like a Mars. Pango is buying Defusal or Mage Slayer into Ags. That's like 10,000, 11,000 net worth with no Blink Dagger. So if you're invisible and you're moving faster, you're kiting around, that's the kind of fight that you want. And it also makes your SD stronger on the rune fights, because you've got a spell that combos with Disruption. You're aiding each other's spells. You're having, combinations there, not to mention these 2 Pango and Weaver heroes, they kind of run in and abuse the fact that, oh, you can't kill me. But if suddenly you get speared into arrows, you can be killed.
I like how much you're emphasizing these rune fights. Is this something that's series-specific between these 2 after you've watched Game 1, Game 2, or are you just now diagnosing that this has been Paravision's secret to success?
I think it's Paravision for sure, and I also think it's a Pangolier thing because the hero is so built on snowballing. It's not that good in even games. It's quite terrible if it's behind or even. It's something that needs to take advantage of the fact that Swashbuckle is not a balanced trading spell. The mana for damage is way too good and it's long ranged. So if you don't take advantage of that, you've wasted the hero's biggest strength.
This Dark Willow is such a throwback hero for 9 class. This used to be one of his main heroes before he became the Slark guy.
The hipster, yeah.
Before he became the hipster, he would always play this hero. The way that he played it was on the Throwing Shade facet, and he'd solo hunt heroes. Willow does not have that anymore. It did not get worked into a kit. She didn't get either of her facets. So she's going to be played differently than what 9 class was used to doing, which was the Blink Rush, the Hex Rush. But it's still one of his old school signatures.
What's your strength in this lineup particularly, though? Because whenever I saw Willow be played earlier in the tournament, it was being used primarily as an anti-Leshrac type hero, being like, I'm going to create a bunch of little stuns, a bunch of little roots, and you're not allowed to go there. But I don't necessarily see that from Extreme in this game.
For Willow, it's just a lot of extra damage and extra control on top of Pangolier's initiation, and she will be able to maybe counter-initiate the Mars Arena with her Terrorize.
Yeah, I mean, both teams, they go Sand King. I mean, why not? NTS is doing really well on it. I think both teams are kind of inviting the fight, right? Either team who initiates first, the counterplay potential is really high, right? You've already mentioned Dark Willow. That's what, Underlord and Pangolier can do. Weaver with the time-lapse. XG, the same thing. You have Mars, you have Moonlight Shadow, you have Arena, SD, Disruption, and now Sand King. Like, both teams, they invite the aggression to counterplay you, but they also are really ready to just be, the team going in first. I am leaning slightly more towards XG at the moment, based on what the supports can do in the early game, the classic combination, and the fact that Sand King brings a bit more explosive damage. But I am just happy that a game 3 feels like it's somewhat even at the moment on paper. Of course, there are 2 more picks left.
And 2 lineups that gear up for very exciting and explosive team fights as well.
And it's slow enough from P-Vision that you're not looking at potential game 1 where it's like, oh wow, the map's going to be broken. There is no XG to play the game, right? Like, this is 2 lineups that need a little bit of time and space to break down the map.
An Oracle ban from Extreme. What are they afraid of?
I mean, I think it's an understanding that their lineup is very predicated on burst, right? They've got a lot of heroes that are all in, a lot of jump, and they also have a save, so they want quick fights that start on their terms, right? And they have much better jump than Paravision. But if it doesn't go cleanly, if they get saved, then it is a pipe versus no pipe game. That's always can be a problem for the no pipe team, especially when your magic damage is based. So I'm looking at this Ame hero to need to deal a lot of damage, because if you're not off to a good start, eventually Underlord's got pipe as some tank ability, you can have problems.
This is like old patch, I'd be looking at like a Naga position 5, right? The idea of like everything actually wants to do, illusions to tank the arrows, song to stop the epicenter, just to disengage. But I have no idea if the hero is even a good support anymore. I cannot remember what changed to the hero, so it's probably actually maybe bad if it doesn't have healing anymore.
She's a good carry, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, since I need to try it. Does it still have healing in the shard?
On the shard, on the ultimate, I believe so.
If so, then it could be an option here, right? Melee body for the Weaver. I think just any hero that can just like combo break XG from the support role is what I'm looking for.
2 Ame options get banned out. No Monkey King, no Life Stealer.
I mean, Tuska's still in the pool, like if they're willing to run the 5 Tusk or Paravision. Lane with the Weaver, get a save for the initiation from XG.
No, for sure. Morphling. Is that a happy or
No, that's a sus.
Sus?
I think Morphling is generally pretty bad against Underlord, because you're pretty weak in lane. You don't pressure this hero at all. Like, the heroes that are best against Underlord are Monkey King, Ursa, these Chads that beat him up early, so we can't get to the point where he starts pitting you. Morphling, he's all base damage, so the aura does massive work against Morphling. Not to mention Willow combined with the Underlord. It's not the Rubik, but you're getting pitted into Brambled into repitted, so there's a lot of kill threat there. And Mirana Morphling is not a strong lane. This is a slow pick that can definitely be abused.
Does the fact that you can turn into Weaver justify it a little bit more? Because I'm with you, I'm kind of left wondering why Morphling of all the cores.
It's okay.
I mean, it's also hard to kill Morphling when if you accelerate the game to like the 35-minute mark, right? Morphling against Pangos and Underlords, like, he's gonna be chilling in that stage of the game, right? Pango's going for Mage Slayer, got Diffusal. Sure, he can't go back to Diffusal as mentioned, but yeah, I kind of feel like Arme's just going, I will eventually 1v9 guys. That's what he just told his team. How to get there? Sure, good luck, but I will do it eventually.
It's just, I feel like a lot of players fall into the Morphling trap and they think I will 1v5 and I will carry. And
No, yeah, 1v5, yeah, sorry. Yeah.
the hero just doesn't. Nice call on the Naga T, but the hero just doesn't seem to be clutching the way that it should. Morphling is.
Oh, it's a carry though. That's still Naga, you know.
What's
like the
happening
hero.
to Weaver?
5 Weaver?
Ducalis Weaver?
Yeah. 5 Pangolin.
No way.
no, there's no way.
Wait, 5 Weaver.
Yeah.
I could say it right. 5 Weaver with Naga and Snare. Sounds like a cool combo.
I just like Naga starting conceptually for what XG was trying to do. Sure, it's now the carry rather than 5, but Satanic has played it already in the playoff bracket so far, and it does put a pressure on the Morphling, right? Everything Morphling was doing for like the late game, now Naga's like, stop, you're not gonna kill me. We're gonna have an honest 1v1. Will I have Bloodthorn? Are you gonna have Manta up? Do you have the damage to kill me? Who has Butterfly? Who's tankier? Naga can buy Skadi, Morphling doesn't like that. It is an honest battle of, you know, 2 big statement carry players, both Satanic and Army for their teams. It is going to be a carry show when you get there.
It's just very cool that Satanic can play this hero as a carry again, because you just see something in it that other people haven't yet, and this is an old school counter to so many of the hyper carries that you've just forgotten about. And T says it's going to be an honest 1v1, but how honest can it be when you're just sleeping the rest of his team?
Oh, it's very dishonest in that factor for sure. No, yeah.
How about mid lane honesty, Quinn? You were emphasizing the importance of rune protection. You think that Pango has it?
I think both. I don't think it's particularly like favored one side or the other. 5 Weaver is not as strong as 4 Weaver in some weird way. The angles you take to mid are not as powerful on the rune, so I think they will be okay on XG from the mid lane, but I think what's important is that they're able to defend their stacks, that NTS gets really fat and online, is able to be the difference maker, because Morphling is not making moves. That hero is slow, and Mars laning into Naga Sign, so he's glued to his lane, pushing it out and dealing with illusions for forever. So for me, my eyes are on NTS this game to be the star, to be the difference maker, because if they're chill, if they're sitting around, then there is a timing coming with the pipe and the Naga. I'm worried for XG, but I believe in NTS.
Especially not just beyond Naga Steiner and being in the game and Morphling being Ame's hero of choice, but Ame has also proven that he is pretty content being static if he is given the license to do so, and hopefully he doesn't take that license too far this game.
Yeah, that would not be good to do versus a Naga Siren, but I just want to say that Satanic, when he got really famous and got scouted, it was because one of his heroes was Naga Siren. He is so good at this hero. It is terrifying.
Let's see if he's going to put a nice little cap on this big game. Birmingham, are you ready for game number 3?
Time, Birmingham, time to get into the action, and my goodness, Bob, what a turn this series has taken from the start of it all. That first game, quite a bit of a quick beatdown. With Paravision taking the win, then XP stepping it up in game 2, and now we're here in game 3, and I think after the first game, some people might have thought they'd be able to head home a little bit early, but this last third game, we're getting a carry Morph on one side and a carry Naga Siren on the other.
This is great.
This could be quite the monstrous showdown between these 2 carries, Satanic and Arme.
I mean, the 2 iconic carry players, right, looking to play those super carries. We saw that Paravision was looking to set pace with their first 4 picks. Then we saw Ame being like, okay, you guys want to set pace? Then I will go for this late game kind of super carry. And then Satanic goes, okay, you want to play super carry? I'm going to play one that kind of one-ups you, controls the map, constricts you, and probably can potentially do that kind of out-carrying, itemized versus you, and deal with you. So,
because how do the timings work between these 2 nowadays, right? Sure, you know, back in the day, right, Naga Siren could be this kind of ultra-late game carry, but I'm guessing nowadays that the Naga Siren, as opposed to Morph, is going to try and play a little bit more oppressive and a little bit faster.
I would think so, right? You're going to get the timings faster in general. Morphling is literally just the slowest hero in the game, it does feel like. So it does feel Paravision, they have a good entry into the game to set that tempo, especially when they get those auras. But XG, they have crazy team fight, and if anything that I've seen from XG, that's what they're best at, right? Executing these team fights from behind, catching back up, and they've got a good way to do it with the setup of XXS on his Mars, one of the best Mars in the world.
And how would you sort of consider the counter team fight from Paravision? Because with this season, you know, is it going to be enough? They have obviously got with the Song of the Siren to reset. They have that sort of matter of fact that the SSS, he can always be where he needs to, right? He's going to have that ultimate. They try and make some sort of team fight move. The Underlord will always be there ready to join.
They have a very strong like map controlling lineup, right? The thing about Underlord is he can always just play on his own, and he just portals in, right? You can always play as this 4 or maybe even 3 protect, like 3 doing moves while 1 just farms. And then they have a Naga also, so they can do it even more on top of that, right? They're going to be able to do so many kind of pressure plays and open up the map just because of the way that these heroes just work. But for XG, they can absolutely take fights in most situations, I would say, as long as Nothing to Say has a good game. And I have yet to see him have a bad game on the Sand King.
It's been very good as Sand King performances. Yeah, he absolutely smashed it last game with those late game fights, the way he played them, the way he was able to find those key targets every single time.
And he's getting his timings just really fast, right? In the first game that we saw him play the Sand King the other day, he got a 9-minute Blink Dagger. This last game, I believe it was between that 10 and 11 minute with the phase boots, so still super fast that he's getting the pacing. Even if no one is getting the Mage Slayer to counteract it, it is very strong. Now, I'm saying all this for a reason, because they have kind of leveled up the way to deal with the Sand King this game of getting an Aura buyer from the off lane. Last game, he bought a couple of them, but it wasn't a pipe buyer, right? He went for all these different ones. They're going to have Mage Slayer pipe versus Sand King. Always been one of the traditional best ways to deal with this hero.
Talk to me about this as well. So obviously with the way that things changed at the end of the draft, you know, Weaver being moved to the support position, how comfortable of a pivot do you think this was from PowerVision? Like, were they going through this draft being like, oh, it was already going to be a support Weaver, or maybe we can change it at the end? Like, how comfortable do you feel this looks, and how much confidence do you have still in the support Weaver in this day and age?
I think it can absolutely make some things work. I just don't know how much she's going to function as like a 5 position, because I don't know if you can even trade that effectively, as we see there versus the Shadow Demon. So I think it was just this situation where Satanix is like, I don't want to play it in this game. Yep. They have way too much chain stun. I want to play something that's going to potentially be able to scale and play versus that carry. This is what happens sometimes when you're 5 position. You just have to take the hero that nobody else wants to play in that game, and that just might have been the case with Ducalis this time.
Yeah, talking about sort of control, right? Looking at the side of PowerVision, that the best thing they are going to have is sort of that Blink Dagger down the line on no one, right? Outside of that, getting some sort of opening, instant stun, instant catch onto someone like Arme on the Morphling, it's not going to be easy.
Oh, what the? Got the courier. Wait, what the?
That's
not rare.
Yeah,
doesn't always happen.
As a melee hero, able to wrap around and get the hit onto that one.
I mean, yes, but also they do have some of these cheaper type of disables. The roots, a lot of roots, right? They have the ensnare, they have the root, and then the follow-up root, and then the root will proc again, potentially, depending on how they sequence them. So, and they have good counter initiation. X-Nova.
It's going to take quite a bit of damage, but we'll get the leap off.
Blood Grenade missed. I actually think he might die if it hits him there.
Yeah, had the Fairy Fire, I guess.
Oh, true, you're right.
Yeah, but would have at least forced him to use it.
They get the courier themselves, though. 9 class will take it, but Ame will get the exchange of the Lotus. And right now, they're farming very well in all 3 lanes.
That's very true, yeah. 19 of 3 so far here on the safe lane for Ame, whereas on the other side of the map, a little bit of a slower start for Satanic on the Naga Siren.
Playing this really nicely. I'm a big fan of Shadow Demon still. I think this is still one of probably the best support heroes that we've seen for some teams. It's just a top pick. Of course, Rubik is going to now probably be that top support pick for most of them, but this hero just has so many different functions in terms of aggressive potential and defensive. Gives you Roshan. Very, very strong. And they kind of built their draft also very nicely with the Shadow Demon, right? They have the Sand King, the Shadow Demon, the Mirana. This is kind of old school. And I love how much old school throwbacks I feel like we're getting from this patch. We got Io Tiny earlier. A lot of different cool stuff that we used to see a lot.
Triple S. He's going to probably have to take the walk back to base.
Only just surviving, too. I think that, like, the little stick charges he had, perhaps putting him over the edge there to survive.
I mean, it looks like he wants to hang around for the south, but that's going to be quite a way away from him, because the Curry's got to make the trip all the way back to the base first before it brings it out.
Nothing to say. Taking a fair bit of damage in the mid lane. We'll be okay. The harassment that's actually coming out between the two of them bottom is pretty significant. I've been waiting to see this Mirana change, how much it makes a difference. You actually do harass quite a bit more in terms of laning phase. It starts to really add up.
You can certainly see it with sort of the situation that both Triple S and 9 class are in.
Now he's just poking 9 class, and 9 class is getting pretty hurt by it. He's down to 100 HP.
Nearly dying. I mean, with the leap forward, 9 class kind of baits him in, and indeed that was a big old bait there from 9 class. Sets up for Triple S to get the first blood, for 9 class to deny himself to the neutrals.
They kind of needed that first blood in this lane, though. They are not pressuring Ame whatsoever down here. He is having an absolute free time. They did go for this skill build that I've seen them do every time with this duo. They love having this early point in pit because of the way you can function with double pit and the damage. But versus Morphling, Atrophy for Aura is incredibly useful. So thankfully he does have it now, of course, at level 4. But Ame is just completely free farming in this lane.
Yeah, he's getting the Dream Start down. 5 and 10. Pretty close to perfect CS really in the safe lane on his first few waves.
Oh yeah, I think he's only missed a couple here.
Mid matchup continues to be very, very close. Obviously we'll see soon, Nothing to Say, start to make work of the jungle, as he has been doing so very nicely. I imagine this is probably a game where he's not going to be necessarily looking to grab creep from behind the tier 1, or can he still go for that this time round? and try and go for the jungle aggressive.
He was doing it earlier than last game. I think now it's just playing around the power rune, right? Looks like, speaking of that power rune, 6 minutes is being hit. There's been sentries placed to block those ancients, so Shadow Demon isn't going to stack as much.
Turning a bit of the dust, and indeed the rotation for both of the supports coming in. The Brambles going to catch on to nothing to say. He'll try and get out with the Burrow Strike. The presence of both supports will allow him to take the kill. XXS, so he's able to walk over and grab the amplified damage rune. Now take out the Courier of No One and get the spear connection onto Ducalis, so they'll make sure they find something in return there, Extreme.
What a cool rotation. You don't really see the Mars kind of, you know,
walking
the
over.
position walking over and contesting that power rune, but preventing No One from getting the fill up is important. No One will have to go back, gets himself a free kill, and just goes back to that top lane that's pushing in.
Yeah, it looks like they won't miss out on much at all there.
He missed out on like 0 last hit.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be able to get back.
They are. These lanes are looking fantastic for XP.
I can't remember. Can he still drink during a pause?
Yes, he can.
It can.
Wait, you're saying no?
I think sometimes the animation
I swore we saw
I think he still blinks sometimes, but I don't know if he could drink. Maybe he's ready to go. As soon as we get back in the game, he's thirsty.
This is not what I'm good at analyzing, Owen. I'm sorry, I don't know
What,
the pause mechanic. The neutral keep mechanic.
Sometimes they move during the pause.
I swear I've seen him drink during a pause before. Well, we're gonna get underway, so we're gonna see it anyway. SSS is still not healthy bottom. 100 HP. Doesn't have the salve.
Maybe get some hits onto the tower. There we go.
This is not a good situation for SSS.
Mate. He's ready to celebrate by looking for a kill here. There we go.
This is not a good situation for SSS.
Get some hits onto the tower.
There we go. This is not a good situation for SSS.
Mate. He's ready to celebrate by looking for a kill here. SSS is going to get forced into the tree line. SSS will survive, but he has to TP out. Cannot risk any sort of rotation coming in. As X-Nova was looking to come in from the side.
He wants to be healthy for the Wisdom. They can't just sit there with low HP and not be able to contest the Wisdom. Otherwise, XG will just take it.
They're going to have to bring more down here. Yeah. Ducalis heading over to make sure they have both supports around for the 7-minute Wisdom. Does mean a lot of tower damage is going to be taken here. And look who's turned up. Nothing to say. Also around here for the 7-minute Shrine of Wisdom. I don't know if Paravision can afford to stick around for this fight. They'll lay down the Brambles, but Nightclass is solo. The Burrow Strike catches him. X-Nova jumps in with the burst.
They got to leave it.
They're going to get the kill. They're going to be able to take the Shrine of Wisdom and, of course, keep their own save. So both 7-minute Shrine of Wisdom's going the way of Extreme Gaming. And we're here, in game 3, and it's
7 minutes in.
And they're getting the lead by quite a bit on the gold and on the XP. You can only imagine there with those pickups.
And they're usually that much slower-paced team. Also for Paravision, right? They ideally want to be that pressure-based team with this draft, but a Morphling being able to get free farm, getting the first tower of the game, getting both shrines. They are set up for success right now. Paravision. Nightclass is found.
He's looking pretty dead here. The classic disruption into the arrow.
Man, this truly looks like old school Dota in a way. Just the beautiful combos.
These players are extreme right there.
They are the old school.
That's back when they were sort of at their greatest, and they're ready to do it again here.
Oh yeah, and they've got those stacks now. XXS, he's got the level 6.
Yep.
FY. So no one is trying to get on top of there with the Collis, but not the easy.
Here at the side.
Definitely not easy to engage in there.
If he's forced the Rolling Thunder and just try and grab the power in, but the opening's there. He has to come up the side with Swashbuckle. Gets away from the arrow.
Nice spear.
Spear connection on the wall to Ducalis. Ducalis trying to stand his ground, but he's gone and no one. He'll have to roll away.
That spear didn't even look like it was going to connect, but actually it was kind of perfect there. No one will get the rune out of it, though. But his timings have been slowed down a lot. Some of these Pangos, we've seen them get like 9 to 10 minute diffusals finished, or Mage Slayers, depending on which one they want. He's gone for boots. You know, a couple small items that are going to delay this item timing for him. Satanic is free farming. He is having a very good time. But everyone on this side of XG is having a dream start right now, and they have such good kill combos, as we said, with the Sanking, the Mirage, the Shadow Demon.
And has anything sort of caused any changes, do you imagine, in the build-up of Carry Nagasaran in this patch?
No. I think it's just Manta Orchid. Yep. I don't think that there's much other builds, unless he really wants to go full carry build, but I don't know what you would even do. Like Manta Butter, that sounds bad. So I think you just Manta Orchid it. You still have kill threats if you do find the Morphling in a situation. And you're going to have global placement, right? You're going to be able to maybe hunt at some points with the Underlord ulti as well on that. But a big slowdown. And their damage, I would say, isn't really that great on the side of Paravision when they do have this type of rough start here. The one who deals the most damage, it's going to be no one. The Underlords is more over time. The Weaver doesn't deal great damage. The Willow either early. So for now, XG in a super comfortable spot to sit back, finished up the blink for the tanking, and then they can really start to set that pace. This is a dream start for a Morphling.
Yeah, Ame could not have hoped for anything better to have come out of this bottom lane, really. He's getting everything They could one here out of the laning stage.
It's very rare to see Morphling not be pressured in laning phase in this. I mean, I want to say this patch and like the last patch we're going to say. So
I mean, is it the nature of the hero duo that they had down here, or do you feel that these two could have been able to do a little bit more?
probably could have done more, I would say. Just maybe we're looking for the kills instead of just looking to play the last hits in particular, since they didn't go for the Atrophy Aura versus that Morphling. They were looking to kill with Willow. They did get the first blood, but
See around the mid-air. FY will get caught out. Triple S moves across.
Okay. He got stuck for a second there on the roll.
And the XXS getting the chance to get the power rune though as the shield rune drops top. Now putting some pressure onto the tier 1 tower mid.
XXS does this very often when he's playing with this team, especially when he's playing his Mars, honestly. He likes to play a lot more with the team. We saw him with that Slardar waiting to get that farm. This one, he just got phase double Grace and he's showing up.
And I don't mind it, right? Because that top lane, right, he's not really putting pressure on the Naga Sirens. He can't, right? The Naga Sirens hitting the jungle. Satanic's not around in the lane, so might as well get some aggressive maneuvers done, take away some of this map.
And it makes it safer for them to take this tower, because if nothing to say is just hitting this tower, he can absolutely die. But with the Mars behind him,
you don't want to go on him.
Nope. So I do love that they make that move. They get it. They get the first 2 tier 1s, and I would say it's Paravision that are the ones that wanted to be able to play early about pressure on those. Just said though, it's intending.
Pari bisa apa siapa? Dibantai Pari ya? Rata-rata orang-orang bego tuh kayak pengen diakuin diri dia jago aja.
New Green bikin lo terus melaju. Tetap terkoneksi biar musik lo ngalir terus. Kapanpun.
Random gua udah pasti aktor 1000% gitu, geng. Aduh. Udah mulai 3 laning gua lele. Bangke.
Dia baru sadar dan kaget banget waktu lihat rekamannya semalam. Saat dia buka pintu kamar,
Gue bisa bikin konten affiliate tanpa produk, tanpa kamera, tanpa editing, dan ini hasilnya.
Sekarang kalian bisa bikin video.
These types of videos have been going super viral recently with any kind of silent, well, to perform well. And to post 150,000 followers, and basically we're going to do it slightly easier to trust YouTube of your Mirage IMAX pod. The purpose of this is by checking if there is a source clip. This part is, but most important, people don't have to 11 million followers, and basically we're going to do the same. So we're going to we want to use avoid reinventing the wheel. This can come 0.5 million likes, and we're about, especially when we're trying it out. Number 2 is if there is nothing, see kind of a black, and now you just want to press this button.
Halo sahabat YouTube, karena banyak banget yang request ke saya gimana cara edit video short menggunakan video short sudah. Nah, misalkan sampai sini. Nah, nanti jadi dengan
Berikutnya, coba kulihat. Power kamu 1, dan kamu akan respawn di Mesir.
Tapi aku ingin pergi ke Roma. Tak seorang pun akan tahu aku diam-diam mengganti arah.
Kamu tadi curang, pergilah ke Mesir.
Aku harus terus mengembangkannya. Petani, aku jelas butuh kamu. Berbayang, pergilah. Pedagang, selamat datang. Aha, penduduknya ada 21 orang sekarang. Berikutnya aku harus bangun rumah untuk mereka. Mana yang harus kupilih? Terlalu banyak benda yang perlu kubeli. Jadi untuk saat ini aku akan membangun rumah sederhana saja. Bangun jalan lebih dulu. Dengan dana terbatas, ayo kita kerjakan jalan kotor ini dulu. Pertanian juga penting. Tanam padi. Di sini, dan di sini. Apa? Merekrut petani perlu uang. Pilih yang lebih murah. Ubah area ini menjadi distrik komersial. Maksimalkan pajak. Perdagangan diperlukan. Apa? Harga minuman keras anjlok. Berinvestasilah di harga murah dan beli semuanya. Tunggu harganya meroket. Tidak, rumah-rumah rubuh terkena badai salju. Harga minuman keras semakin jatuh. Pajaknya semakin tinggi sehingga penduduk pergi. Aku tidak bisa menjalankan kota ini lagi. Tersedia.
Die.
Bankkq.
What up?
Radiant are making a play for Dire's top. Radiant's top barracks are under attack. I don't see a bright future for Radiant's bottom barracks. Radiant's bottom barracks are in the thick of it.
Nice fades.
Radiant's bottom barracks have fallen. Radiant's bottom barracks have fallen. Radiant's top barracks taking some punishment. Radiant's bottom barracks are in the thick of it.
Mates.
Thank you yang udah nonton.